All right, bro. Just reviewing it and going over all the details. The biggest thing that I see with this gait, he swings his left leg like he can't almost go in flexion, which is what compensates. So I'm gonna take a wild guess that was reading over the forms. It didn't specify which leg, but I'm gonna take a wild guess that or educated guess that the right leg is where he had the ACL repair. So meaning that this whole left side is super sticky. If I see it from the front view, right, you kind of can see as well the right shoulder is a little bit more elevated, meaning that he's been putting a lot more pressure on the left side. And if I recall through our conversation, that he was dealing with a little bit of sciatica not too long ago on that left side. So ankles also collapse, and that right leg's definitely a lot more externally rotated. The tibia is more externally rotated, but that's the biggest thing that I see heel, well, at least on this one. The other ones definitely show it a little bit more. All right, for this, just seeing him standing, right? Hip is a little, right side is a little bit more pointed out, um, and this left knee is collapsing. So abductors are definitely weak. Definitely going to deal with some really tight abductors as well. And I think if we open up this left area, will help realign his hips, right? This needs to get out definitely stronger on the posterior aspect as well. But if we walk through this, biggest thing I see is when he goes down, those ankles collapse. So as I, mentioned about when you asked me about the ACL, definitely gonna have to stretch those gastrocs a little bit more, get a little bit more ankle mobility as well. That will help clean up. And as I can tell, these are kind of collapsing in, meaning those abductors, those glutes are very underactive. Um, on the side view, definitely got to work flexion of the spine, hip mobility on the way down is not terrible, but definitely got to correct that butt wink as well. And the extension is actually not terrible from what I saw. Pretty up. But when I see the other assessment, it looks like he's having a hard time. So, that flexion extension, spine mobility work is going to help him a lot. Okay, the walking lunges, as you can tell, having a really hard time extending. So that upper thoracic's definitely, it's got to open up. He has really tight pecs as well. So obviously that plays a role. But in regards to the lunge itself, that's not bad. The only thing I see on that is, the ankle collapses in. That's definitely going to be dealing with tight calves and the ankle mobility. Um, ooh, little instability right on the right hip, and I'm going to guess that's his ACL surgery. When he goes forward on the right, a lot more stable, not bad. It's just when he goes to his left, almost like he has a hard time stabilizing. Um, the front view, as you can tell, his arms are really having a hard time keeping up. That's his left foot. I feel like, and when he does that with that knee, that front knee kind of collapses in a little bit. Definitely dealing with some tight hips for sure. Having a hard time extending that leg on the back end. So, which we kind of knew already with the gate walk itself. All right, bro. So this is the lateral lunge. Just run it through. His hinge on the back end is not terrible, but one thing I do see right is that toes pointing out, but I don't think that's a big deal. Definitely dealing, with tight adductors that we need to open up those hips. That's his left side, so that right inner thigh is really sticky. A little bit better on the right side. Legs a little bit more straight. And then as I mentioned, the hinge is not terrible. You kind of see the heel detach a little bit, so we could definitely work and improve. But you can see he's well overdeveloped on his quad, so those hamstrings definitely need to get stronger, which is going to help with that ACL repair as well. Definitely dealing with some tight calves for sure, as we knew. And the hinge actually not bad on this way, but it definitely could improve. As you can tell, those ankles definitely get detached. It doesn't have stability from the ground up. All right, the lateral lunge definitely needs some work here. Biggest things when I see he's kind of shrugging that right shoulder when he turns to his left, and he's having a hard time really rotating. So a lot of T-spine rotation is going to help get more comfortable in that aspect. And as you can tell, he's definitely moving his hips, and that knee is definitely trying to push back out. Got to get those glutes stronger as well. And when he goes to his right, it's a little better, but not the best. As you can tell, very overdeveloped shoulders, and definitely a lot of tension on the upper thoracic as well. So stuff that we need to clean up. Um, in the program. All right, the upper body, this definitely clarifies the stickiness of the chest. So he kind of has a really hard time bringing it back. Like it's definitely restricted. And when he brings it down, you can see those traps also elevating. It goes back, it's kind of like, open me up, but you can't. So definitely have to open up those areas, get those back muscles firing up a little bit more to open up the anterior aspect of it. You can tell well overdeveloped front delts, upper traps, stuff that definitely needs to open up so that way he gets a better range of motion on that shoulder mobility. All right, the last one, brother. For this one, I actually didn't see much that terrible. I mean, the heel does detach a little bit, but for the most part, not bad for ankle mobility. He's not allowing the hips. I'm pretty sure he looks like he's in a really good position. When we all go over to the left, I think it's actually a little better than the right, but not much detachment. On the first one, it detached a little bit, but when he did it the second time, he definitely kept it down. And maybe a little hip rock, but not terrible in that aspect of it. I think the right side's definitely a little bit more restricted than the left. So let me know how I did. Hopefully I did good.